Hello and welcome to the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining us right here today is Craig Salter from Fidra. How's it going today, Craig?
It's good, man. It's nice to see you. Having a nice, relaxing Friday evening here in Scotland.
Oh, that's great to hear. So let's get started by getting to know you a bit and how you got started in music.
Sure. Yeah. So
Tell us your story.
well, I've been playing in bands for years and years, and I suppose I kind of got into the sort of folk country kind of scene. When I was at university, that sort of thing. I've always played guitar and kind of got into singing and that sort of thing. And there's quite a big sort of Scottish traditional music scene here, that you're probably familiar with. So this project, I suppose, came about when I kind of it was when we were in lockdown over COVID, I suppose, and I needed a new project to take up my time. So yeah, I suppose when I had a lot of spare time, I started working on this, started writing songs for Fidra, and kind of took it in a more kind of sort of Scottish folk kind of direction, I guess.
So you have a brand new album, and that album is called The Running Wave. Tell us a little bit about that album.
Yeah, so the Running Wave. So it's our first album. We got off to quite I suppose in some ways a bit of a slow start because of COVID. Like everything. It kind of stopped everything happening. So I kind of wrote quite a lot of the tunes and things, but then we couldn't really play them. There weren't really many recording studios open, that sort of thing. So once that had all subsided, we brought out an EP, and when we got to the stage where we could actually kind of get in the studio together, when we could actually rehearse together, write together, that sort of thing, we started writing The Running Wave. So it's been quite a long time in the making, but it's an album that I suppose comes from it's quite a sort of storytelling album, so a lot of the inspiration from it came from, well, my grandparents and other members of my family, all kind of grew up working around the sort of coasts of Scotland and the islands of Scotland and doing all sorts of different things, working in the docks, working on boats, that sort of thing. And um, they were great storytellers. So, I had this kind of collection of all their brilliant stories from their lives, in my head, whether it be, growing up on the coasts of Fife, or, or being sent off to fight in World War II, and having to, leave your family behind and sailing across the sea, and all of those kind of those kind of themes came together. So it was a bit the album became a bit of a homage to them, I suppose. It kind of became a way that I could sort of tell their stories and, dedicate it. So the album is dedicated to my grandparents. But yeah, it's I think it's it's been a fun album to do, and it's been a really nice album to do because it feels really quite I don't know, quite meaningful because of that, because we have, all of these sort of family stories that mean quite a lot to me. And because of that, it's ended up being quite a long album. There's 12 tracks on there. I think our shortest song is 4 minutes, which for you guys on the radio, I'm sure is quite annoying. But I'm pretty pleased with it. So yeah, that's kind of where it came from.
So where can people learn more about you, the album? Where can they find it all?
Well, so we've got most of our stuff is online, as are the modern days, I suppose. So we have www.fidramusic.com. That's our website. So that'll kind of take you to all your kind of downloads and things. You can pre-order the album there just now. You can also pre-order the CD. We'll ship worldwide. I know lots of people don't have CD players these days, but a lot of people I find like to buy them for the car. If you've got a slightly older car, it might have a CD player in it. We're also going to be doing pre-orders of vinyl, but vinyl's crazy these days. The costs are through the roof. But we've just had a vinyl press open up in Scotland, and I think it's the first one since the 80s. So
Wow.
we are planning to basically do pre-sales of vinyl, and once we kind of hit enough sales that we can actually afford to order it, then we'll get those shipped out. But I mean, that's that. Yeah, I would say find that, and obviously we have some shows coming up here, that sort of thing, but not quite yet in the States, but hopefully someday.
Absolutely. And you know what you said about the vinyl? That's crazy that they're just opening one in Scotland since the
Mm.
80s. That's crazy. That just goes to show that it's coming back in a crazy way, vinyl is.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I think until very recently, everything had to be most of the stuff in Europe had to be made in Germany because I guess in the 90s they closed down all the vinyl presses when everything kind of went onto CD and went digital.
Hmm.
Um, and so there was a huge backlog for a long time because everything was going through Germany. And people were getting delays because Beyonce or Taylor Swift would bring out an album and all the presses would go into overdrive
Hmm.
to press their album, and so people would have to wait in the queue. But yeah, we have one here now, so that's all good.
Oh, that's amazing. So, what are you most looking forward to in the next couple years that you have for your music? Do you have any upcoming projects or anything that you're looking forward to?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I mean, one of the great things about this album has been sort of collaborating with loads of really interesting people on it. I mean, we've always taken the approach with this band that you know we don't really have a set group of people that are always in the band, but people come and go, and we play with different musicians. And so, I think in the next couple of years, I mean, I'm already writing the next album, so being able to kind of collaborate with some of the great musicians we have here in Scotland will be part of it. I mean, we have a really amazing folk scene here, and it's kind of quite resurgent at the moment. So there's really like some amazing players coming through, people like Laura Wilkie and Adam Ross and people like that. So I'm keen to sort of be able to kind of chat to those guys and see if we can collaborate. So album number two is going to be on the horizon, but I mean we're going to be sort of touring over the next year, mostly around Scotland and England. But we're hoping to kind of expand as much as we can. Hopefully, we'll get a few shows in Ireland and Wales as well. Yeah, who knows? I mean, if things go well, I'm hoping we'll be over there in the States with you pretty soon. So yeah.
Oop, did I lose you?
Oh, I think you're back. Yeah, sorry, froze for a second there. I think you're
Oh,
back now.
okay. Not sure if it's my end or your end. I apologize. Okay, here we go.
No worries. I think I've got you now.
Okay. So, is there anything that I forgot to mention that you would like to mention before we go today?
Well, I mean, I'd like to give a shout out to my bandmates. I mean, there's some really great people playing on this album. So we've got people like my friend Finty Martin, who's an incredible singer. So if you hear the album, you'll hear there's one song where the voice is quite different. So that's Finty singing on it, and I wanted to get him, and he's always he's an amazing musician, and he's always kind of wanted to kind of do more folky kind of things. So I got him in to do a song, and then we've got Pedro Cameron and Madeline Stewart, who are incredible fiddle players. We've got Kev Dunn on drums, and Sarah Gallagher and Jill Higgins on vocals. And Adam Milne, who's one of the most interesting guitarists I've ever met. He makes his own guitars as well, which is really cool. And our wonderful bass player Fraser Hughes. So I mean, they're all really great musicians. So I think I'm quite sort of blessed to have a great group of people around me, and of course our producer Mark Morrow, who's a fantastic producer and a great guy. So yeah, I mean, I suppose a sort of bit of a reflection for me is that you know I kind of started off writing this and I was quite happy with it. But, being able to collaborate with all these amazing musicians really sort of brought it together and really gave it kind of extra life. So yeah, I think it's been a great experience for that. And so yeah, I just want to say thank you to all those guys.
Craig Salter from Fidra, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show. Today's Best Country Mix. We definitely appreciate your time and support and hope to have you on the show again real soon.
Thank you, man. Cheers. Great to meet you.